So hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So it appears that Google is being sued, and for no small reason. Google is being sued for its AI overviews. A company called Chegg is suing Google because Google's AI has taken all of their answers to questions and are showing it for free to people who are searching. So let's go into this because this is probably going to be the most important lawsuit of SEO in terms of people who run blogs and people who run informational sites, because not everyone is a Washington Post, and Google is not going to strike a deal with you and me or even a medium-sized company like Chegg. Well, Chegg is a $2 million company, but at the end of the day, Google is not going to strike a deal with everyone, but it's going to scrape everyone's content. It's going to take everyone's content and it's going to try and use that in its AI overviews to present answers. And so what eventually happens is that people stop going to websites. They just read, what AI overviews has produced, and they click and they go to another search, or they click off Google and go someplace else. So this is going to be a significant lawsuit, and this could turn into a class action lawsuit, as some people are telling me, because this has begun to gain momentum. So the 18-year-old publicly traded educational technology company Chegg, and Chegg, if you go to the website, now I was not familiar with Chegg, but so Chegg, for those who don't know, is a company that offers educational services. So, people, students mainly are their target audience. They have quite a large subscription base. They're in a way, they're a medium-sized company, but what AI Overviews has done with them is it has sucked up all of their traffic. And the way they have done it is when someone searches for queries that for which Chegg used to rank for, it's Google AI Overviews that now presents the entire answer. It does not quote Chegg in that answer. There's no link to Chegg in that answer. And so what happens is that people are reading the answer by AI Overviews and they're just leaving. At the end of the day, what's going on is that according to Chegg, they have lost a great deal of traffic despite having a boatload of blogs and informational content. They're not getting any traffic, and businesses like Chegg need that traffic to make money. So subscribers are not specifically going to search for how to do my homework online. They're going to be searching for specific questions that Chegg is targeting. And when those questions take them to Chegg's website, that's when they will find out that they can also subscribe to a service that will help them with their homework and whatever services is offered. So the statement says that while we have made significant headway on our technology product and marketing program, in 2024 came with a series of challenges, including the rapid evolution of content landscape, particularly the rise of Google AIO, which previously mentioned had a profound impact on Chegg's traffic, revenue, and workforce. As already mentioned, we are filing a complaint against Google LLC and Alphabet Inc. in the U.S. District Court for District of Columbia, making three main arguments. Number one being reciprocal dealing, meaning that Google forces companies like Chegg to supply our proprietary content in order to be included in Google search function. With all due respect to Chegg and this statement, Google doesn't really force anyone to provide any content. Okay, so you can lock it down behind a paywall, and you can make it impossible for Google to access. You can put a copyright notice that says it's not allowed to be scraped by any AIO, and Google will have to abide by that. But what they're trying to say here is that in order to rank in Google search, they have to make their proprietary content crawlable. And that is a choice that you make when you're trying to rank in search, which is why, my approach to search over the years has changed, especially over the past 2 years, because I don't want my clients' proprietary content to be on Google search, because then anyone can just pick up that proprietary content, including AIO, and just present it and then be done with it, right? So there's no reason to visit the website. So that is a wrong approach, if that was their approach. So the second is monopoly maintenance, or that Google unfairly exercises its monopoly power within search and other anti-competitive conduct to muscle out companies like Chegg. Google does that a lot, okay? So if there's a company that's struggling because Google made an update or they added a feature, like a lot of calculator companies, there were a lot of businesses, that had calculator sites, conversion sites, currency conversion sites, that just lost a lot of traffic because when Google added the feature to Google search, no one actually wants to click onto a site and do a currency conversion or do a mathematical conversion from centigrade to Fahrenheit, for instance. So all of those businesses lost traffic. And some of those businesses were acquired by Google, most were not. Okay, so that happened. And the third is unjust enrichment, meaning Google is reaping the financial benefits of Chegg's content without having to spend a dime. Now, this is a little controversial. I don't know how Google is reaping the financial benefits of it. But that being said, if someone searches for a term and they see an AIO on Google search, that keeps them on Google search for longer, which means that the prospect of them clicking on ads, which are also part of AIO, which you'll see towards the left or right or on top of Google, have a higher odds of being clicked, which means it's good for Google's bottom line, right? But at the end of the day, it's not a direct impact on Google's bottom line. So this statement itself is, it depends on how you look at it. So as we align our complaint, Google AIO has transformed Google from a search engine into an answer engine, displaying AI-generated content sourced from third-party sites like Chegg. Google's expansion of AIO forces traffic to remain on Google, eliminating the need to go to third-party content source sites. The impact on Chegg's business is clear. Our non-subscriber traffic plummeted to negative 49% in January 2025, down significantly from the modest 8% decline we reported in Q2 of 2024. Now, this is significant. So minus 49% is a big deal, and it could be attributed to AIO, but there's no real way of knowing. Unless you've set this up in Google Analytics, which I think they probably have, then you would know, that how much of your traffic is coming from AIO, like we have set up, so we know how much of our traffic comes from AIO. And I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, most of our traffic doesn't come from Google AIO. It doesn't come from ChatGPT. Maybe it's because of the businesses I work with. It's not significant, or it's not yet significant, but they're not major contributors of traffic as much as the primary Google surface. So at the end of the day, what is happening here is that it appears that they are losing traffic because of Google AIO. Now, the legal implications of this may be multifold. So for first is, scraping AI content. Now, I don't remember the exact verdict, but in a previous case, when not involving Google, it was the judge had ruled, or the jury had ruled, that training AI on data that's openly available on the internet is not against the law. So if Chegg made their content available to Google to crawl and use as part of its training data set, then Chegg does not have a case here. But where they will have a case is if their content is copyrighted and it's crawlable. So Chegg owns the copyright to the content. Google crawled the content, so it was only fair use. There was some fair use policy or something in there, at which point if Google starts displaying that content without Chegg's explicit permission, then that would be against the law, and they'll be going against the terms of Chegg's website. Now, I'm not a legal scholar, so I have no idea whether or not this would apply, specifically when it comes to the U.S. law and the District Court of British Columbia. But what I do know is, based on many past lawsuits like these, this could pick up momentum. And at the end of the day, that would mean that there are more companies jumping onto this, mainly because many, if not few 100,000 businesses have been impacted by Google's AIO. Now, I think Google's AIO does not have much of a future, but it's important for business owners, to join the lawsuit if it becomes a class action lawsuit, and make sure that they regain their clicks that have been otherwise taken away by AIO. But still, even if Google removes AIO from the equation and is removed from SERPs altogether, you still have Perplexity AI, you still have DeepSeek, you still have ChatGPT, you still have all of these companies that are doing the exact same thing. It's only a matter of maybe adding a plugin or a Chrome extension that would then make it possible for a searcher to see the results in Google search. So it doesn't make much of a difference there. If someone wants to see a AI generated regurgitated result, they will see it. So there's no way of preventing that from happening. And so it's very important for businesses, even like Chegg, which is $1 million business or a $2 million business, to restructure and find ways to monetize without having to extensively rely on Google search. So I hope you guys like the video. Like and subscribe as always. Leave a comment below, and happy ranking.